Good morning, Raptor freaks. Alexi Odds here. Friday Freakout ball. Sorry. Uh, Last night was weird. I'm just gonna say, all right. NBA 2K23 came out at midnight last night, and Scotty and Lloyd and all those guys were on there right at midnight. And Scotty streamed for 6 hours last night till 5:30 in the morning this morning. I tapped out at 4 o'clock. I could not stay up all night just to watch Scotty play 2K. He's 21. I'm 48 or 47. I can't stay up all night and do this with my old body like a young guy can, like that. I don't even know if he went to OVO this morning. I don't know. Because last night was a special day. Scotty playing 2K23 right off the bat with famous Twitch streamer Adin Ross. Now, this was a colorful stream. This was a very different kind of stream than normal Scotty Barnes Twitch stream. Tom Duke was there. He can tell you there were a lot of interesting questions from Adin Ross towards Scotty Barnes. Now, Monique, when you review this Twitch, there is going to be a lot of colorful language. There's going to be a lot of questions that are a little bit out of pocket and maybe a little bit not, the kind of stuff that you should ask Scotty. But in a way, we got some information out of him because of these crazy questions by Adin Ross. He asked him straight up if he had a girlfriend last night, and Scotty said he does have a girlfriend that he likes to see, but nothing serious. He described her as a shorty he hangs out with sometimes and stuff like that. But yeah, very, very gross questions by Adin Ross and what's his name? Cuff'em. These guys are Twitch superstars. They're known for just playing video games, and millions of people watch them play video games. And well, Scotty was hanging out with them last night. And it wasn't a bad idea because these guys had been given copies of the game ahead of time, and they had already gotten on there and get their characters up. So Scotty teaming up with them made it easier for him to collect some more wins in the very beginning of the launch of the game and stuff like that. But very entertaining Twitch stream, little bit adult rated. I will say that there was a lot of silliness and a lot of things going on in the chat. A lot of things going on with Adin Ross and his mouth, things that he was saying and Cuff'em. Yeah, they're weird ones. Let's just put it that way. And at times you could tell Scotty was just putting up with them, a little bit annoyed and just a little bit like, I don't know how to answer what you're asking me, Adin, because this is inappropriate. Let's just put it that way. It's inappropriate what you're asking me and stuff like that. Good morning, Monique. Yes, this Twitch stream will be something to watch, Monique. And make sure maybe when you're watching it, make sure there's no children around. Let's just put it that way, Monique, when you watch Twitch from Scotty's Twitch last night. But yeah, they're grinding already. They're getting in there and getting and going and stuff like that. Like just trying to build their characters as fast as they can. And this is something that Scotty may be doing a lot in the time between now and the beginning of training camp. And Scotty's going to be playing NBA 2K23, and he's going to be building his character and his points and his skills and his badges and all of the different characteristics that you can do to your character on that game. And it was kind of cool to see the game and see it, all the ins and outs of it right off the launch and seeing all this stuff. Of course, there's problems with servers crashing. There's problems with being able to get the VC cash, the virtual cash in the game. Scotty still can't. He's trying to pay to get some more extra so he can put some clothes, some cool swag on his player, buy some extra skills and stuff like that. And none of that's working yet. So he was really doing the real grind right from the start and stuff like that. Raymond Jacobs saying, rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. Sure. We'll recognize that. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. Is going to be a different world now with a different leader. That I don't know if it'll really change things. Prince Charles, King Charles, whatever. It's the royal family. I mean, I care about it as much as an arm's length from me. But it is something I'll respect, just out of respect for all different kinds of viewers of this channel. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. As I know someone that is very important to my mother in particular. And Mom, I'm sorry about her death yesterday. And I will say that out of respect. So Naco the Nacho says Adin Ross is kind of gross. Dude shakes hands with Andrew Tate, who you probably don't want to know about. I do know who Andrew Tate is from recent news and stuff like that. And yes, he is very gross. Adin Ross is not somebody to try and be like and stuff like that. I'll tell you that. He's a shock twitcher and he does try to shock. And that was definitely what was going on Scotty's Twitch last night. A lot of shock. Like, whoa, did he really just say that and stuff like that? This is how you get a following and do stuff like that. Maybe I need to start doing stuff, saying shocking things, woo-hoo-hoo, and try and get me. No, I'm not trying to get people like Adin Ross gets people on his channel like that and stuff like that. But yeah, he is kind of gross. Just from my little sample of hanging out with him for 4 or 5 hours last night on the Twitch stream, yeah, he's a little gross. And I will admit with that and stuff like that. All right, the general thing that I want to talk about today is Dalano Banton in the Americup 2022, the tournament that's going on down in Brazil right now. Now, Dalano is the only NBA player on the Team Canada team that's competing right now in this tournament. And he truly is the figurehead leader, the leader statistically of this team coached by Nathaniel Mitchell, assistant coach of the Toronto Raptors. So there is a heavy Raptors influence on this game and at the top. But it's really cool to see that there's guys that aren't getting in the NBA, guys that we have. These aren't even guys that were on the team that Nick Nurse was coaching earlier this summer in Victoria and Toronto and stuff like that. This team has got guys that just aren't gonna, there may be a couple of guys that are G League, but there's a whole bunch of guys that just aren't going to be anywhere. And Dalano is really leading this team so well, and they're all working real well together. I want to see something really badass happen. They won their quarterfinal match against Mexico yesterday, and now they're going to play Brazil tomorrow. In the semifinals, and if they win that one, they'll play the winner of the USA versus Venezuela, and that is going to be for the finals on Sunday. So here's the hoping that Dalano Banton and Team Canada can beat Brazil, the home country, for the tournament tomorrow, and hopefully face the United States on Sunday, September 11th. USA versus Canada, Americup finals. Let's hope that's how it all goes down. But, Brazil and Venezuela could also be upset kind of teams and mess this up. But I really hope they don't, because I want to test the Team Canada level of where they're at against that USA level. I want to see USA versus Canada on Sunday. And Dalano Banton is the leader. He's the one showing the way. Like even yesterday, let me look at his stats overall in this tournament. In 4 games, Dalano Banton has averaged 18.5 points. He is by far the leader in points for Team Canada. He's averaged 1.3 steals. He's averaged 4.8 assists, and he's averaged 6.3 rebounds. He's shooting 43% from the field, 28% from three-point range, and 77% at the free throw line. These are all admirable stat averages for Dalano. And like I said, listen, this is the kind of stuff that really brings out confidence. Let's look at Delano's summer, honestly, seriously. Let's look at Delano's summer and how much he's worked. He was at Summer League, and he was leading that team and doing a lot of the point guard leadership kind of things for that team at that level. And they were very successful there. They lost 1 game out of 6 or something like that. They won most of their games at Summer League. And then, boom, Rico Hines runs for like a month. And Dalano was all over those clips, and he was a big part of the Rico Hines runs. That was invaluable for his development and further growth in this offseason, Rico Hines. And now, Americup. He's down there leading again in another whole kind of different situation for Team Canada. And it's such great reps, valuable experience and leadership kind of stuff that Delano's doing. I really hope all these varied different ways that Dalano has gotten work in this summer will really lead him to, much more, even better improved game. Like, who knows? Maybe Dalano makes a leap because of the great competition he's had to work with and the responsibility of being a leader on the teams that he's been playing on this summer. That this may really make Dalano have a different characteristic about how he carries himself on the court and how he steps up and does things for the Raptors on the main roster this year. I really hope that would be really cool and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Monique saying so happy for Dalano. They can do it. I believe. Yes, I believe too. Go Canada. Oh, Canada. Let's win Americup down in Brazil with Dalano Banton. All right, sorry. I just, I had a little musical interlude there. I am a little delirious because I'm working off a 3 hours sleep from being up all night watching Scotty Barnes on 2K20. All right, here's a little update about me and Scotty and stuff like that. I talked to Lloyd yesterday about what happened earlier this week with what Scotty said to me. And he told me that Scotty doesn't care if I use the clip. He said that, listen, he was half joking. He thought it was funny that I'm using his clips, and I said that. And he just wanted to point out that that was hypocritical in some ways. And I understand what he's saying. Now, I did that clip like 2 months ago. Clipped it out before he kind of came down on people for clipping stuff. So I was just trying to reinforce rules that he wants for people that watch his Twitch, not to clip stuff out and put it on blast in different places. And he was just kind of saying that ironically about me clipping that out to put on my channel. And he didn't care. He doesn't care about any of this. But I did make it very clear to Lloyd that I'm not making any money here and that he shouldn't expect the cut from me because what am I going to give him? I don't know. So I think we cleared everything up. And I did even interact with Scotty quite a bit last night and everything was cool. It's not like he's mad at me. It's not like he doesn't like my channel or doesn't want me to do my channel. It's just that he felt like joking around and messing with me a little bit. So he was joking around a little bit. And I went back and watched the clip again, and he does say it with a little bit of a half smile and stuff like that. So everything's all good. He has no problem with the Raptor Freak channel. And I think at this point now he's aware of it. In some ways, I'm very honored and that kind of thing. He knows what I'm doing on here. I think he knows what I'm doing. And it could be on the down low. He actually is tuning in just to hear what I have to say. Because, hey, why not? If you could get a free opinion on different things like that and stuff like that, maybe he'll learn to trust my voice in some ways if he does watch me from time to time. So this is all good. It's all good, baby. It's all about Raptors. And it really is. Because last night, Adin Ross was trying to get Scotty in trouble with some questions. Yeah, he's like, who's your favorite player to play with in the league? And Scotty goes, OG. And like, oh, no. Somebody from not from the Raptors. He's like, OG. He's like, what? No, I mean, somebody not on Toronto. He's like, OG. He just kept saying OG to him. And I love that Scotty was staying true to his team. When he got asked questions like, who's the best point guard in the NBA? Fred VanVleet. Wait, no, pick somebody else that's not on the Raptors. Fred VanVleet. And he was just sticking to it. He big up Pascal. He big up the OG. He bigged up Fred VanVleet when he was asked by Adin Ross uncomfortable questions that could get him in trouble. Now, he did give some flowers out to people like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, people like that still in the whole conversation. But he was very, very loyal to our guys, his teammates, OG and stuff like that. And I love how he's telling Adin Ross, is like, OG. He's like, who's OG? He's like, Adin Ross don't even know who OG is. So maybe you're not qualified to ask him these questions, Adin Ross, whoever the Twitch hell you are, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know who Anunoby is? Come on, man. Get back in there and start playing. So maybe you need to play some My Team NBA 2K23 with the Raptors, and then you can get familiar with their roster. That's what I'm saying, Adin Ross. Go try it, man. Let's see. Naco the Nacho saying Dalano and Team Canada over Malachi and the Pro-Am. It's cool that they're both being productive, though. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more worthwhile to play in a cup tournament against Americas, all of South America, North America, and Central America, and stuff like that. That is maybe worth more than just a Pro-Am against some guys who maybe just made it the high school level and didn't go much higher, stuff like that. Sure, I'll agree with that. But, I think Malachi's had a good summer also, and we shouldn't slight him for it. And hopefully he'll have some good swagger and confidence behind his game going into the season, and he can start hitting shots right away and look really, really good as a backup point guard for us this year. Monique saying the interview was awesome too of Dalano. Yeah, he's very mature for his age. He handles himself very well. He's not like Adin Ross. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to slag him just a little bit. But yeah, Dalano gets up there and he's very well spoken. He represents Canada very, very well as a young man. And I appreciate you, Dalano Banton, for that you are a great young leader. Not see, that's the thing. You're a point guard. You have a lot of skill, interesting body type, and skill set that you can be a leader in the sport of basketball, Dalano Banton. And you do not shy away from that opportunity to try and be a leader in leadership opportunities. So I'm proud of you, Dalano, for leading Team Canada and doing your best. And your best is badass. And Canada is winning. And that's what we want to see. So go ahead and bring it home. Win this whole thing. Let's do it, baby. We got to beat USA eventually. I know we'll probably face them at some point. Hopefully in the finals. We'll have to see. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to go on for too long today. To be very honest, I am exhausted. I am working on fumes right now. I may have just woke up for like 20 minutes to do this stream or however long I do it. And then I'm going to go right back to sleep and catch up on more sleep because this is how dedicated I am. I'm sacrificing sleep when I want to have it just to get the information and see the stuff that's happening with Scotty on his stream at 3:30 in the morning, y'all, last night. And Tom Duke was there too. He can tell you the vibes. He can tell you how it was going down there. It was a lot of fun in a lot of ways, but also, yeah, like Nako's saying, there was some toxicity. There was some weird sexual talk with Scotty, and he wasn't comfortable with it. He would not answer in some of those questions, and they were just totally wrong for some of them. I'm not going to lie. That Cuffham guy, he's a little out of control. Let's just put it that way. So weird. See, Tom's here now. I can't believe Tom's made it. I'm so happy you're here, Tom, because they may not even understand how weird Scotty's Twitch was last night without somebody to second me on what happened last night. So weird. He made it to the end. Well, you do have the advantage of being West Coast, but man, now you're up so early. This is crazy. Yeah, you're just up to check in. Well, Tom, go back to sleep. You catch me later on. I know you'll catch everything that I say now and stuff like that later on in the day and stuff like that. I'm about to go back to sleep myself. Because I can't go on this little bit of sleep right now. In fact, I may be rambling at this point, and I apologize for it because my brain is fried just from hanging out on Twitch all night with these guys and stuff like that. Yeah, Tom was a little out of the loop with some of the lingo. We're trying to help him with educating him on some stuff and stuff like that. But Tom was cool. And then there was a point in the stream last night where Tom and I were tag team fighting two Philly fans in there. And there was a lot of shit talk going on between Tom Duke, the Raptors freak, and a couple of Philadelphia fans last night. And we were setting them straight. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's really easy to tell someone, well, when did you win your last championship? Yeah, you may have more championships for the Sixers. Well, when's the last time you won one? It was when Dr. J played for y'all in 1983. So just shut the fuck up is what the things we were kind of saying to these people and stuff like that. We were dissing Embiid, and they were like, you can't talk about Embiid like that. And we're like, oh, yeah, we can, and we will. And then they started talking about how, Raptors fans always cheer for injuries. And I'm like, you know what? Listen, you can think that if you want. We don't care. But you know what? Listen, if we did, so what? So what? You're a Philadelphia fan, and you threw batteries at Santa. You turned on your Philadelphia Phillies and gave them death threats. There's a lot of things we can say about the fan base of Philadelphia that's much more ugly than what you're saying about the Raptors with the perceived image of what happened when Kevin Durant got hurt against us in the finals. That's what I'm saying. You guys go ahead and think that. They've used this as a weapon against Raptors Nation for so long. It's like, why don't we just earn it? Why don't we just own it and say, yeah, okay, fine. You want us to be villains? You want the Raptors to be kind of an outside villain team in the United States? And, we're so bad as a fan base. You're preying on the idea that Canadians want to be looked at as being nice and like, oh no, don't think that we're mean people for this. Well, let's get a little ugly, Canada, and say, why not? Okay, maybe some of us did cheer for Kevin Durant getting hurt. We'll own up to it. So what? So what? What's the problem? That's water on the bridge and stuff like that. There's knuckleheads in every fan base. But I'll tell you what, it's very 50-50. Maybe some of them did cheer for him to get hurt, but some of them were very much not all about that. And there are a lot of Raptor fans like that. But why should we shy away? It's like, okay, you want to paint us as a bad guy? Sure, some of us were bad guys in this situation. So what? Get over it. You whine about it all the time. Oh, your fans cheer for injuries. Blah, 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 blah. That's basically how I look at it now. With the whole thing, when somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, you cheered about Kevin Durant getting hurt," that's just what I'm gonna say. Okay, sure, we did. Fine. Move on. Or hey, you can think whatever you want about us. That doesn't affect us. Is you go ahead because you're a Philly fan. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else is saying. Tom Duke said, didn't say goodnight. Yeah, when you said goodnight to me, he thought you were saying goodnight for the night. And he said, "Goodnight, Tom Dookie." That's what Scotty said to Tom last night. He said, "Tom Dookie." And yeah, it was kind of cool to see Scotty saying goodnight, Tom, and stuff like that. Sue saying good morning, everyone. Good to see Sue. Don't watch the latest Scotty Twitch if you don't want some major cussing and some crazy questions. Very, very crazy questions. Tom Duke saying Nardo and Lloyd joined him and they played a few games with no weirdos in the chat. Yeah, that's the other thing. Adin Ross doesn't just come into the chat himself. He brings his whole entourage of weird chat people. And his fans are not Raptor fans necessarily. Some of them were Philly fans. Some of them are LeBron and Laker fans and stuff like that. And it was kind of an interesting little meetup. The Raptor Freak and Tom Duke and the regular crew that's in there, the Raptor fans against the Adin Ross fans who are kind of out of pocket in some of their opinions and stuff. They were dissing Pascal Siakam on Scotty Barnes' Twitch. And we weren't having it. No, we weren't. We were like, you're going to respect Pascal this year. Oh, yeah, you will. You may not understand why you should, but we will make sure you find out why you should respect Pascal Siakam this season when he comes to play your team this year, Adin Ross supporters. You're going to find out. Oh, yeah, you will. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mar Smith, that's what Tom Duke was called by Scotty Barnes last night. Tom Dookie. He said, "Okay, good night, Tom Dookie." And I was like, whoa. I was like, nah, that's just fun and games. And he loved it. He loved it. Tom was all about it. Listen, Tom, you and I stay hip and cool by staying up late all night with these youngsters and their lingos and weird stuff. This is how we stay hip. We're the hippest guys around our age because we do know some of the lingo and we do hang out with cool Twitch people like Adin Ross and Scotty Barnes. At least we don't try to hang out with Adin Ross, but it happens sometimes. Nameless is saying, yeah, we cheered when he got hurt, but he wasn't shot. They act like he died and we cheered. Fake outrage is real. I know. This is like whistleblower stuff or dog whistle stuff. It's like, whoa. To prey on the sensitivity of Canadians to want to be well-liked and respected around the world. Well, you guys are animals. You cheered for Kevin Durant getting hurt. Oh, my gosh. Whatever. We'll own it a little bit. Sure, there were maybe a little bit of noises, but some of them people were cheering because Serge Ibaka got down the court. Some of the people were cheering because he got up off the floor and walked off the court. There's there's mixed audience reactions. You can't just say all is one and one is all. People have different things that happen in that moment. And if they want to paint a wide brush and say all Raptor fans were happy about it, that is just simply not true. But you're not going to hurt our feelings by saying that we do this kind of stuff. So what? It happened. Boo-hoo-hoo. We won the championship. Boo-hoo-hoo. Stuff like that. Tom Duke. Oh, wait. Let's see what Raymond Jacobs saying here. This is hilarious. I cheered, but not because KD got hurt. I cheered because I knew we had the win and that instant was in the bag. That's right. Maybe we're just happy because the tide was turning. The momentum was on Toronto's side. And we could feel the energy coming towards Larry O'Brien, the first one for the Toronto Raptors. There were a lot of reasons for us to be happy and cheering. Wait, you're so self-centered. You think everything's just about Kevin? In fact, I want to talk about this. Kevin is off the chain on Twitter right now. In the last 24 hours, Kevin Durant has gone a little unhinged on Twitter in some ways. He's answering so many tweets right now. Like he's saying stuff like the Minions unite. All I ask the man is if he was 6'6", would he be good at basketball? But I'm sensitive. And he's saying, oh my gosh, look at you, emotional. He's like interacting with these people. They're calling him out for stuff like that. And this is the thing. He's doing this with Nets fan. I'm not lying. Like there's a Nets fan who came on there and asked him, he said, listen, whenever you grow tired of tweeting, hop on New York radio. I think the true fans deserve some answers, being that the last few months have been interesting. And then Kevin straight up says, no, because he doesn't feel like he has to answer for any of this stuff that he did, blowing up the Nets on blast in public in all kinds of different ways and really messing up their team for this season in a lot of ways on the down low. Nets fans want answers. They want you to go on the radio, Kevin, and talk about what's happening. And he's like, no. He's like, I don't know anything to any of y'all and stuff like that. And meanwhile, the fans are coming at him with pitchforks and yelling at him and talking all kinds of trash to him. You tell me if that's a good, healthy environment for winning and getting to a Larry O'Brien championship. No, I don't think it is. Brooklyn Nets Nation, y'all are a dumpster fire, a dumpster fire, and you guys are burning bright. Oh, yeah, you're burning bright. And anybody who thinks that they're healthy and there's good things happening in Brooklyn this season and that they're going to be a winning team and stuff like that, you better watch that light and feel that heat of that burn coming out of your dumpster in Brooklyn right now, because it is very much there. You may not want to look at it or admit it. You may be that little dog in the burning house. It's like not paying attention and being like not wanting to really look at the reality of their situation. That is what's going on with y'all. Brooklyn Nets fan. That's what I'm saying right now. Oh, yeah. All right. Tom Duke said, muffin. Yeah, muffin. They were all about coming down on people in the chat were saying, tell Adin Ross muffin man. He's a muffin. And that's because they poke fun at him for having a little paunch, for having a little muffin top above his shorts. They were making fun of Adin Ross by calling him muffin. So if you don't like Adin Ross and you see him somewhere in your Twitter sphere or Twitch sphere or whatever you are, call him the Muffin Man. It really gets under his skin. In fact, he got real upset when they started calling him Muffin. So I love that Tom's saying that. Sue's saying, I am okay if the rest of the NBA looks at the Raps as a badass fan base. Sure, some fans cheered about KD, and I think most fan bases would have, some who would too. Exactly. If the other teams were in the same situation, I think a lot of teams would just have the exact kind of reaction. Their fan base would be mixed like that also. Don't act like this holier than thou crap, especially from Philadelphia Sixers fans. Seriously, there's no holier than thou coming from y'all. Seriously. And even in the chat last night, when Sixer fan was coming at us like this, other fans who were kind of impartial that were involved were like, come on, Philly, you can't talk like this. You have no ground to stand on with your history of your fans and stuff like that. Paul B's saying, what's an Adin Ross? Listen, Paul, I almost don't even want to inform you about what this person is or what is like, you may just want to not know who he is. Just trust me. Because, yeah, he's a couple of steps in that level to get to Andrew Tate and his toxic masculinity and his weird way of doing things and stuff like that. It's really weird, the whole way that some people can become celebrities and they just play video games and stuff like that. That is what Adin Ross is. He's just some guy in his early 20s who somehow, some way, people liked watching him because of the stupid shit he says. And now all of a sudden he has millions of followers and he has a living off of doing what he does. And that's a crazy thing. And with that, he brings his whole part of his world into Scotty's Twitch. And man, that was a very interesting combination. Let's just put it that way. Tom Duke's laughing about probably about the good night Tom Dukey, which is a great clip. Honestly, I said don't clip Scotty Barnes' stuff anymore, but in a way, Scotty's clip of him saying goodnight to Tom, we kind of maybe should clip that out just for Tom to have him for every night when he goes to bed. Tommy can just play it and say, oh, it's SB wishing me a good night. And that may be a nice thing to have, Tom. Maybe we can do that for him, Paul B. Maybe we can get him that clip and give it to Tom so he can have it for him when he goes to bed at night. Every night he gets to say a good night wish from Scotty Barnes. Mar Smith saying, so I guess things are good now with the SB situation. Yeah, they always were. I think, like, honestly, I don't totally understand his sense of humor. Like, he's really weird. Like, the other day when it happened, he had a really tense energy. He had an energy where he was edgy and he kind of was snapping at everybody in little bits and ways. And I just got my little snap towards me. And I was also thinking about this way, listen, Lloyd is not somebody that he knows in real life. Lloyd is somebody he met through the video game, and he has never met him in person in real life, but he's in his inner circle and he's a friend of his and stuff like that. But part of their relationship really is Scotty being able to bully Lloyd a little bit. Not that he's a bully too much or something. He actually considers him a friend and stuff. And Lloyd doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't mind. Not that he doesn't matter. He doesn't mind if Scotty's a little bit kind of like dumping on him, making fun of him, stuff like that. That's part of the relationship. So I'm like, listen, if Scotty's bullying me a little bit, maybe I'm a little bit like Lloyd. Hey, maybe this is a good thing because maybe that means I'm coming in with some trust. And it could be also that he was testing me. He wanted to see whether I would react poorly and get into something with him that was bad. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take the bait. And so maybe this actually, in a roundabout way, is building trust with Scotty between him and I. That even though came off on me like that, I didn't come back with the same kind of energy at him. So in a lot of ways, maybe he's like, okay, Raptor Freaks is all right, because like he could have gotten really upset or like with what happened with that and stuff like that, but he didn't. He turned the other cheek. So I look at this as like a weird opportunity inside of a ugly kind of little thing that happened. And he is getting a lot of flack on his streams these days for being so money hungry, for being so like, I need money, I need this and that. But we're hearing more and more of the clues. And I think it really is true that he kind of, when he got his rookie contract, he spent a lot of money up front, down payments on things that took a lot of that money away, and that he still feels that real urgency and pressure, financial pressure, even though from the outside we're all like, you're a rookie of the year and you have NBA money. But he's in a place where he doesn't have huge NBA money, but he's maybe trying to live with the huge NBA money lifestyle, and that it's ate up most of it and stuff like that. So I don't know. I still think it's not a good look for him to beg for money on Twitch, but I understand more where that pressure is coming from, and that is a real pressure in his life and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. Let's see what else is going on. Tom Duke's saying, don't bother looking up Adin Ross. Yeah. And he's laughing. Yeah, he's not worth it. I mean, listen, seriously, if you like really dirty jokes and people talking about your penis all the time, or maybe you like, somebody who's really controversial and you don't know what they're going to say all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden they're talking about anal sex with you, then this may be the flavor for you of Twitch, that you might like Adin Ross. That's what I'll say. So there's your endorsement. If y'all are interested, there's about what you'll get if you're listening to him and cuff him. And they also do impersonations of gay people and kind of act like, oh, they want to have gay sex with you and stuff like that. And I don't know if these guys are actually gay. So in some ways, maybe they are kind of being a little bit homophobic on their channel also. Let's just put it that way. Monique saying 23 days. Count them down. Michael Jordan, number of days left. 23 days till we get some Raptors basketball. Oh my gosh, please come and give me an easier opportunity to make content on this channel, please, Raptors, because we need something to react to and watch and stuff like that. Paul B saying, I believe you. Thanks. I don't know what a Tate is either. Playing games online is kind of sad to me. Spare time that could be spent listening to Beastie Boys. Honestly, I'm going to agree with you on some of this, Paul, but disagree with you on some of this. It's really good that you don't know who Andrew Tate is, Adin Ross, cuff them, these people, because they are very toxic people. And I worry about the youth of our youth, like Scotty Barnes and stuff like that they get influenced by these knuckleheads, the way they talk, the way they think they're cool, and the way to be cool is like that. No wonder we have some snarky idiots running around, running their mouth and saying inappropriate things to people that's disrespectful in real life. If Adin Ross is the kind of leadership or role model that these young people look up to, then we're in trouble. I'm not going to lie. So that's what I'm saying. Andrew Tate is an even more extreme, worse part of that. And I don't want to think that Scotty Barnes had anything to do with Andrew Tate at any point in his life. But the sad thing is, people like Adin Ross and Andrew Tate appeal to young men who are maybe lonely or upset or sad or having trouble in their love life. And all of a sudden they swoop in and they start telling them, oh, you be this and be this. You can get women all you want and you can be a player and do all this kind of stuff. They're exactly the worst kind of influences on this kind of subject, because they do not look at women in a very, very nice way, in a very misogynist way and stuff like that. So I do worry about this. And once again, this is the same thing with anything in life. If you're a parent and you have young people in your life, young children, you can help shape and allow what comes in their life and has an effect on them. And you need to really watch out. This is when you should be gatekeeping, kind of saying, yeah, well, you should not be watching Andrew Tate. So keep up with what your children are ingesting and who they're learning from. Who do they look up to? They tell you a name, go check them out and find out what's up. And if anything, maybe if you don't want to ban them from watching them or having anything like that, give them the whole story and let them know that, educate them to why this person may not be the best person to emulate or be like. This is an important part of being a parent, and that too many parents are away and busy with their own lives and they don't even know who has a huge influence on their child. And this is how bad things start to happen. and stuff like that. So you get into kinds of like white supremacy pockets on the internet. You get into some very bad misogynistic incel kind of pockets. There are very bad places where young men can fall into and get some bad ideologies going. You don't want your son to be a MAGA, so get him out of the wormhole of all that mess down there and stuff like that. Yeah, Tom Dukas has love's eyes, and he's saying fuck Brooklyn. I love it, Tom. Yes, fuck Brooklyn. All right, let's see. Lolita's saying happy for Delano. Go Raptors. It is so cool, and like honestly, that's got to be exciting to Delano. He's leading Team Canada in Brazil. So he's getting to go and sightsee and be around that culture in that country. That opens his eyes and makes him more worldly. It's kind of like when you're in university and you do an exchange student program where, like, for one semester, you go over to France and you go and learn at another school while another student comes back and they study here. It's that kind of stuff. So it's broadening Delano's horizons. It's making him more global and worldly. As he puts it, he's collecting cities. And now he's collecting cities in South America and Brazil. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Raymond Jacobs saying, if you have a name like Lloyd, it's expected. Lloyd is a name for a lackey. Listen, let's not diss Lloyd too much. In fact, Lloyd and I are having our own friendship burgeoning, him and I. In fact, because Lloyd's streams are not as popular as Scotty's, obviously. Scotty's going to get like 600, 700 people watching him when he's in there streaming. Meanwhile, Lloyd's got maybe 3 or 4 people in there. And if I'm not one of those 3 or 4 people, I can talk to Lloyd about anything and get his direct attention. And in some ways, this is a foot in the door to be able to talk to Scott. So I love Lloyd. Lloyd's a great dude. Like, honestly, he's misunderstood. He is very much a submissive kind of guy in some ways to Scotty. He was like, yeah, Scotty can walk all over him. But also at the same time, he's his own person. He is a very interesting person. He studies school in New York. And he's learning by online learning right now, but he's a very interesting person. He has a really cool style to him, and his opinions and stuff like that are very astute. He's a very much somebody who knows a lot about the NBA and basketball in general. So I don't want to diss Lloyd because he's fast coming, a friend of mine. And him and I interact, just us, all the time, and I value that and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I see what you're saying, Raymond. That like Lloyd is a lackey kind of name, but he isn't really kind of a lackey. He's just another person that Scotty really enjoys playing NBA 2K with and stuff like that. And he's been there and stuff like that. Sue's saying this Adin guy sounds like a knob, to be honest. He is, Sue. In fact, if you watch this Twitch footage, which you probably won't have much patience to do, and part of the reason why I'm doing what I do right now is so y'all don't have to sit through 6 hours of toxic video game playing like Tom Duke and I did last night. It's exactly that. We can give you the synopsis, the basics of what happened. And then you don't have to sit through every like penis reference and like talking about where they want to put it and do what with and that with Scotty and wondering how big his is and all this kind of stuff and really talking about it a lot and like not letting it go and stuff like that. That's kind of where we were last night with what was going on in there. Let's see, Marcin at Paul B. I'm gonna play me some intergalactic planetary. Yeah, Lolita's saying if it was LeBron, then Durant, I would be cheering as the win was ours. I think that it's a sign of respect because the player was so good. Not sorry for cheering at all. Part of the game. Listen, everybody's talking about good sportsmanship in this situation. Good sportsmanship, you don't cheer an injury and stuff like that. That's true. And you shouldn't. And historically in sports, when there was more of a decorum and that kind of stuff. But in some ways, sports has devolved into ugliness in different ways. And the rules are all out there. And it's mirrored by people like Joel Embiid being a poor sport on the court, not following those same kind of rules with how he carries himself on the court by taunting when a team's up by 20. Well, boom, the basketball gods are watching and you miss a couple games in the next series because you are a little bit out of pocket with how you're taunting the other team. So this really is kind of the same thing. Cheering for an injury or taunting a team when you're up, it's all bad sportsmanship. So listen, this is the thing. It's like in some ways it's ugly and society's devolving in some ways with respect and things like that. And this is part of what the symptom of it is. So, honestly, yeah, they can call us out for it. In some ways we can get defensive and get all upset about it, but that's when they win. So why don't we just own it and say, sure, okay, fine, we did. Okay, get over it. What was that? 3-4 years ago? Sure. Okay, fine. Get over it. That's what I'll say in that case from now on and stuff like that. So Tom Duke's saying he did get some answers from SB. Not sure if SB is 6'10 or 6'11. This is great. I'm glad Tom reminded me of this. Scotty said last night he's 6'11. He said he is 6'11" last night, y'all. And then he grew 3 inches, is what he said. So he was 6'9" last year, and now or something like or 6'8". Now he's like 6'11" is what he's trying to say. Nick Nurse said he was 6'10" in Hungary this summer. Scotty said he's 6'9". Well, maybe they measured him again yesterday because he was at OVO Center for most of the day leading up to the 2K launch. That he was just waiting and he bored and he was like, I want to play this game so bad. I wish they sent it to me early. So he went and got rid of some of that energy down at OVO Center. And it could be that they said, hey, Scotty, go stand up against the wall and let's take your measurements for how tall you are again. And he stood up there and it said, what, 6'11"? Maybe it's because his hair or something. I don't know. But he said when Adin asked him, how tall are you right now? He said 6'11". That's what Scotty said himself. But then he kind of retracted and said maybe 6'10". So listen, this is what we're saying. They're just going to say 6'7". We've heard 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". Now we've heard 6'11". So how tall is Scotty Barnes? He doesn't even know. And then he's grown. He said 3 inches is what he said since last season. So if he was 6'7", that means he's 6'10". If he's 6'8", that means he's 6'11". So that means he's either 6'10" or 6'11" if he's grown 3 inches. And that is exactly what Scotty said last night. I've grown 3 inches this summer. So, whoa, hello, hello. And this is straight from his mouth. I love that Tom brought this up. That's so awesome. Paul B is ecstatic about that. Raymond Jacobs saying, aren't the majority of millennial social media influencers toxic? I don't know. I'm not out there taking a test of all of them and taste of all of them and seeing what they're all about. Maybe there are some good ones out there, but that is part of what you got to do. You got to have that Howard Stern shock jock kind of thing to you to get a following, to be different, to make a name for yourself. And it may be that kind of thing where you got to just up the ante to be even more crazy on top of this person, on top of this streamer and stuff like that. I don't know. All I know is Adin Ross has been banned from Twitch twice in the past, and somehow he's back on Twitch right now. Maybe these decisions to bring him back maybe weren't the right ones. Let's just put it that way. Monique saying Delano's rotation minutes are definitely calling now. Yeah, I mean, this is good. This makes him more attractive and dependable in Nick Nurse's eyes. Like, you can see the reports. You can hear from Nathaniel Mitchell. You say, oh, Delano's doing this. He's doing this. You can watch the clips. And then all of a sudden, maybe he has more confidence in putting him out there for certain amounts of time. And he's not worried about him screwing up because he has much more experience. And these may be pressure situations coming up very soon in these 2 games in the last 2 rounds of this cup finals and semifinals. So it's going to be very interesting. Tom Duke says he loves Scotty Barnes' answer for favorite player Scotty Barnes would play with. Yes. When asked this, he said OG. He said OG over and over again, even when Adin tried to get him to switch. This is Adin trying to figure out which team he might want to go to other than the Raptors. He was very much doing ugly work for the rest of the NBA, trying to maybe see, maybe where Scotty might want to go otherwise. And Scotty stood fast and strong with us in Raptors Nation and not giving any kind of clues or anything like that. He did say his favorite city in the world is Palm Beach, but that is basically where he's from. And then you can say that, but that's not saying the same thing as Miami. Trust me. And it may be that some Miami fans will hear him say that on his Twitch and be like, oh, he loves our city the most. Well, not Palm Beach. West Palm Beach isn't exactly Miami. Let's just put it that way. It's a little bit north, and it is technically a different city. So don't get ahead of yourself, Miami Heat fans. He is very much on the record saying that he's not necessarily a Heat fan. That maybe, they were on TV in his market, but that didn't mean he was rooting for y'all. He was probably rooting for Kobe against y'all and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Paul B saying, I'm ready for a Scotty All-Star season. 100%, baby. 100%. That is what I'm saying about this. He is going to be an All-Star 100%. We know he's going to be one. Shane Waters, good to see you. I just saw Shane in the stream for just a second last night. He popped in and said hello, and then I didn't see much of him afterwards. I don't know how much he saw about everything and stuff like that, but we did see you, Shane, for a second. I was very quiet in the stream for most of it. I didn't say anything for like 3 or 4 hours of it, and then I chimed in at one point when Scotty said he was 6'11". That's when I put a smiley face on there, and Lloyd saw it immediately. He says, Raptor Freak's smiling about what you said, Scotty. And he said, whoa, Raptor Freak's talking? Smiling smiling. He didn't even know I was in there because I didn't come in and engage in the chat like I usually do because I wanted to feel the room. I didn't want to be, like I said, I'm taking a step back on his Twitch to a degree just so I'm not annoying him. But I did pop in at one point and they all noticed it. And he was like, oh, he's smiling about it. He's like, I was like, yeah, I'm really excited to hear that you've grown this summer, Scotty. Very excited about that and stuff like that. Lloyd pointed it out. He's like, oh, he's smiling about this. And that's exactly why I was smiling. Shane Waters is saying Adin made Kat snap in their conversation on Twitch. Adin is a goof, in my opinion. He has a big following mainly because he is bisexual and has no filter. Gives kids confidence. Believe he is from Toronto. Adin is not from Toronto. He's from South Florida. He's near Boca Raton. They figured that out last night because Scotty was trying to say he's from Palm Beach. He's like, no, I'm from Boca. And this is once again, just like I was saying, Miami is not Palm Beach. Palm Beach is not Boca Raton. Boca Raton is not Miami. These are all separate cities, all part of a megalopolis of cities that are strung along the edge of Florida down there, like along the coast, the east coast of Florida around there. It really much stretches from Key West all the way right on up to Cape Canaveral. So there are little cities that are all kind of considered kind of like South Florida, like Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, but they're not technically. Like West Palm Beach is not Miami, baby, and stuff like that. So this is interesting what Shane's saying about Kat. You know, they brought up Kat at one point on the stream, and you know, Adin was acting like he didn't know who he was talking about. He's like, Kat, who, what? He's like, Carl Anthony Towns. He had to spell it out for him at one point. Yeah, I could see this. Like, honestly, especially if he was twitching with Kat around when Kat was having all these tragedies during the COVID pandemic. Because, like, Carl Anthony Towns lost like 5 or 6 of his family members, including his mother, like in the early days of COVID. And it was real ugly. And like, I don't know. I could see Adin Ross maybe like saying something ugly or getting him and stuff like that. But yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I don't recommend him. I think it's kind of funny to hear Scotty interact with him because, like, honestly, he was kind of pissing Scotty off on the download, but also at the same time, Scotty has to respect him and his following and who he is and stuff like that. And also understand that it may give him cool points with some other fans down the States hanging out with Adin Ross and stuff like that. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad to say that Adin Ross is not from Toronto. He has nothing to do with us. I think he has come to Toronto and gone to Toronto Raptors games. He was talking about that at some points, but trust me, he's not from Toronto. He's not. He's not Canadian. He has nothing to do with this country, and we're proud to say that. Nameless is saying American media is comparing that our reaction to KD injury didn't quite fit their expectations. What? You're not supposed to cheer. You're Canadians. Exactly. That's part of the shock of it, or that's part of the thing is like, listen, if you're a nice person and you have that nice persona, when somebody starts telling you you're mean or you do something mean, sometimes that you get really like self-conscious or you get like, oh my gosh, was I so mean? Did I do something wrong? And then you kind of like, you know, it's a weird effect. And this is kind of what's happening here is what I'm talking about here. Shane's saying Adin is toxic. Yeah, I can't disagree with it. It's crazy and stuff like that. Nameless is saying if the fans cheered in Boston over Katie incident, you wouldn't hear a peep about it from Americans. But because we're Canadians, fake outrage. Yeah, I mean, it is partly because it was on such a high level stage that everybody was watching because it's the finals. And, you know, that is true. Probably this happens in Boston, like on the regular during the season and stuff like that. It's like it just happens so much. They can't really make it into a big specific event because it probably does happen pretty often there. Shaq Lindsay, good to see a new name. We're here every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking Raptors with a positive Raptor fan base. The fan base that isn't about trading all their players away or like talking them down or telling them they're failures or Raptors aren't going to be that good this year. We don't think the Raptors will make the playoffs this year. Ooh, but I'm a Raptor fan. No, we ain't none of that here. Shaq saying, why isn't Masai making a move for Jordan Clarkson or Jakob? We are W. You know, we've talked about Jordan Clarkson this week. I'm saying pass. At this point, I really am this way about our team that we've got everybody. I've said this before on the bus that we want to be on the bus with us riding down the road. And then we don't want to stop at the bus stop and let one guy on and let two guys off. Something like that. Like it would happen with Clarkson. We had to get Clarkson. It would be like Malachi, Kem Birch, some picks, something like these are the deals I'm seeing for Clarkson. Clarkson's not a bad player. I don't want to diss him. And I know that there are people that want him to come here, for different reasons on our team. They think he'll make us better, stuff like that. Some people want him because of his Filipino heritage, and that the Filipino fans in Toronto would be very happy to have Jordan Clarkson on our team for sure. Now, I won't say he's not somebody that I'd say I don't want on Toronto, but right now I don't want him on Toronto. Because, like I said, we're full. And I look at what we're giving up for him is like basically we give up a center like Kem and also a backup point guard like Malachi. And those are varied positions on our team right now, which is so heavy with wings. And if we're getting Clarkson coming back, that's another wing. So it's like he doesn't add anything to what we already have, is what I'm saying. He may be a talent upgrade in some ways, but honestly, what does he do that OG or Gary can't do already? That's already on our team and established and stuff like that. So that's the way I look at it with the Clarkson talk this week. Now, Pirtle's another story. I would totally trade and get Pirtle right now. Like if we could figure out how to make it work without giving out any of our major pieces or anything like that, hell yeah, bring Jakob Pirtle back to Toronto. He has an open welcome from me, just because I know he's a known quantity as far as with our team, and he will work. He will be such good chemistry for us, and he would be another great big to be on our team. So I can get behind anything for Pirtle at any time, just because of his time with the Raptors already and the fact that he's best friends with Pascal Siakam. We want Siakam to be happy, and he is a really good low post defender and does so many good things on the glass as a rebounder also. So I can get behind anything for Jakob. But Jordan Clarkson, he doesn't add anything new to the Raptors. So I'm like, why go through like the pieces sending the other way and just getting one player back? And so some people say, oh, we have so many players coming in the training camp, we can afford to give up a couple guys and get a better player for like two kind of okay players. Sure. Okay. I can understand that kind of logic. And that in some ways I can agree with it. But in this situation, I don't think it's necessary. In fact, I like having Kem on our team a lot. And I've had to defend him a lot this summer, and I'm sick of it. That people want to trade Kem so quickly. And I'm like, no, don't trade Kem. Paul B saying, I used to live in Coral Springs. I remember being impressed with the 20-cent cheeseburgers from McDonald's down there. This is so out of the blue by Paul, but I love it. Yeah, listen, you have cheap food, you eat cheap food. Maybe it's not the best nutrition. Maybe the brains aren't developing as well as young people because, they're eating a lot of McDonald's and stuff like that. That's not necessarily the best brain food for young developing minds that are growing up and stuff like that. I don't know. That's what I'm getting from that, Paul, from what you're saying. But yeah, 29-cent cheeseburgers, please. Yes. Could we get back to a time like that? Inflation and greedy people up top. Can we get some more deals at the bottom and stuff like that? Maybe it's not the best food, though. Monique saying, forget Jordan Clarkson. We don't need him. And she's exactly right. I am seconding Monique, and I'm with her on that. And listen, down the road, if it works out and he ends up on our team somehow, some way, I'm not against that. So don't say I'm a hater of him. It's just it's not the time. It's not the time to get him right now. I just don't see it. Paul B saying, stay true to Jordan, Jordan over Mourning. Nice. I like that. Yeah. Paul B saying, I feel like the bench could use a Jordan Clarkson still. If we have Precious, Thad, Chris, Otto, Flynn on the court, who's getting the first bucket? Well, all right. Instead of Clarkson, why don't we go with this Josh Jackson experiment? Because he is also somewhat similar to Clarkson. In fact, he may be just as good as Clarkson. It's just that they didn't scratch the surface or got hit out of him yet with the teams he's already been on. So let's see what the Raptors development coaches and the coaching staff do with Josh Jackson and see if he could be this player that y'all want Jordan Clarkson on our team. Well, we already have Josh Jackson, and he's such a bargain and a steal at where he is, possibly with his talent level and what he can possibly do. So let's explore him first as far as an option on our team, because he's already here with us, and see if he could possibly be this kind of player that we are talking about, Paul, that we need. Josh Jackson. Yeah. Monique saying, can we move on from Clarkson, please? Yes. Just like she said about Durant earlier this summer, same thing here. Just a little blip of talking about Jordan Clarkson because Utah is doing a fire sale and they do have people available. Just because there's a garage sale down the street doesn't mean you need to go down there and buy an item from it. Just because there may be some deals or they're trying to sell some stuff doesn't mean we have to go in and visit it. We can just walk on home and hang out with who we got already. There's no reason for us to go to the Utah Jazz's garage sale right now. That's what I'll say right now. We don't need to be there and stuff like that. Let's see. Nameless is saying, I have a feeling this is the year that Malachi Flynn shocks the NBA community. I'm calling it. I love to see this. I mean, seriously, we're all waiting for it to happen. We kind of want to see the fruition of the smartness of drafting him by Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri is like, was this a good pick? Or what? We want them to be proven true. We want their record as GMs to be like impeccable and more wins than losses. And right now, Malachi's kind of in the middle. We don't know. Maybe he is a failed pick for us. Well, maybe he can change that and make Masai and Bobby's record in selecting guys look better because he has a much better year this year. And not to mention just good things for him and him sticking around, stuff like that. So I think, this is likely. This could happen because they really want to set him up for success. Hopefully he has some confidence. He understands what he's got to do. And he knows his do or die this season. That if he's not a valid NBA player this year, then there may not be a next year and stuff like that. Yeah, his long-awaited, anticipated arrival. Yes, I love that. I love that so much. Nameless always saying, he sees the writing on the wall, and if there's ever such a thing as a motivator, this is it. Yeah, they're all seeing it. Like Justin Champagne's seeing it. DJ Wilson's seeing it. Josh Jackson's seeing it. Justin's probably really seeing it because Josh Jackson just showed up. Just imagine you're already in a tough training camp battle to try and make the team. And now all of a sudden they go and get a number 4 pick from the 2017 draft. And they're like, this is a number 4 pick in the draft. This was a lottery pick. And now you got to compete against them. It's like, yeah, Justin very much could see Josh Jackson as a direct threat to him making this team. That is a very valid and real thing that's going on here. And that they all need to be motivated and do the best they can in this training camp and stuff like that. Nameless is saying Flynn's play may warrant so much time on the court that all these bench pieces we feel we may need may be irrelevant. That's interesting. Yeah, I want him to eat up time. I want him to be capable. I want him to hit a lot of threes. This is the kind of stuff I want to see from Malachi. Paul B saying you could be right. Masai didn't sign people like Jackson for shits and giggles. No, Josh Jackson could really be a huge piece of our team this year if he's actually like with it. If he's not having any distractions, he really, really cares about being in the NBA. This may be his last strike. If he messes up in Toronto, he may be out of the league forever. And you can really imagine the kind of motivation when you're that point in your NBA career where it's like do or die. You don't do well enough with the Raptors. Well, maybe there's not another team calling after that and stuff like that. So yeah, Nameless is saying pressure makes diamonds. Yes. Pressure makes precious diamonds. Yes. Lolita's saying there's a rumor that Las Vegas and Seattle will be the next new NBA teams. I don't know if I like this. As for sure, our players will be at risk. What do you think? Okay. I'll break this down, compartmentalize it for Lolita here. Vegas and Seattle are the right 2 cities. Now, if that's the problem you have, Lolita, is which city? Like some people will say, well, let's try and get Montreal in there. Sure. And I think they are on the short list, but these 2 cities are ahead of them on this list. That Seattle just has to get a team back. That is a market that's being wasted. That there is a huge enthusiasm and stuff like that. And they need to bring the Sonics back. They need to put that green and yellow back in that city because it'll be good for the league. It'll be so much old memories and like it'll reinvigorate things in some ways, make things feel a little bit new, even though it's something old. Now, the Vegas thing is definitely going to happen. Vegas has been coveted by the NBA for years and years. It's part of the reason why they've been doing the summer league there for a long, long time. Is that it's a destination place. The players love going there for the summer, but also they've been trying to feel out this relationship between gambling and the NBA. And that for years and years and years, David Stern was very strict about keeping them separated. Well, David Stern passed on in Adam Silver's tenure. He has opened up gambling, legalized gambling on the NBA since like 2018 or something. 2019 is since when it started. So it's more accepted. In some ways, that's good. In some ways, it's not good. In fact, I watched the Donaghy special yesterday, and we're going to talk about this on Sunday. Special report, the untold story, flagrant foul, Tim Donaghy story. I'll go deep dive on this and my opinions of it and what it says about the NBA and the refereeing and the things that are going on and whether who I think was telling the truth on that documentary and who I know is lying and what happened, what I learned from it. We'll go over all that on Sunday in the special report. There's a programming note for you. The untold Tim Donaghy flagrant foul story It's fascinating. A lot of it I already knew because it was from the Whistleblower podcast, but it's kind of cool to see it in that format, in a documentary format with the interviews with the people, and you really get a feel for who's lying and who isn't. And I'm gonna tell you who's lying and who isn't on Sunday, but I ain't gonna tell you now and stuff like that. But this is a big part of why they didn't have a team in Vegas for years, is because they were worried about gambling. People like Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley are degenerate gamblers. Having a team in Vegas is kind of, it may interact with gambling and illegal things and be bad. And they also have problems with the Donaghy scandal. So it's like they shied away from Vegas, but now they're starting to feel like, okay, the legalized gambling with the NBA, they can control it a little bit better. It's kind of like drugs. It's like they legalize pot, they can control it more, and there's not as much black market, weird crime activity around it. So that's what they're trying to do with gambling with the NBA, is legalize it so it's all on the up and up, and anything that's underneath is kind of, it's just criminal in a way, but there is a legalized part of it. So they had to do that before they could get even into that market, is separate the integrity of the game from all the gambling that may be around the game and stuff like that. So, it's also, there's a lot of rumors that LeBron is wanting to own that team in Las Vegas. But that timeline's not lining up right now. If they're so quick to want to get a team in Vegas, that maybe he will retire early just so he can be running the Las Vegas NBA team by the time it's ready to be put into the team. Now, I'm seeing in the rest of your statement, Lolita, is this because you're worried about expansion draft, where we would have to cover up like 8 of our top 7 or 8 players and protect them from an expansion draft, and then somebody can come and take any of the other guys that we don't protect? Well, let's not worry about this right now. First of all, I'll tell you that if they do an expansion with these 2 teams, this is going to take 2 or 3 years to get done. That it won't happen overnight. It won't be anything that we'll have to deal with probably until, like, I would say maybe 2024, 2025. So it's nothing that'll happen very soon. But by that time, that may be that, like, okay, we're protecting, these are our 8 core guys. You can get any of these other guys at the end of the bench, because that's how we started in the league. There was an expansion draft, and we were able to take players from other teams in the Toronto expansion draft in 1995 and stuff like that. So, I'm okay with those 2 cities getting the teams, because they honestly are the next ones up. But Montreal could be very much down in the next round if they continue to expand and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. Monique saying, people forget Jackson's only 25. Yeah, he's got a lot of. Listen, he has not shown the promise that he was supposed to have coming to the NBA. He has a lot to prove. He has a chip on his shoulder. He is just like one of our regular guys. They all have chips on their shoulders, and they have something to prove. Well, Josh Jackson fits in real nice with that. And let's see what happens. Nameless saying, Vegas Aces. Yes. Vegas Aces. Good job. I guess they're going into the finals now. The finals of the WNBA are starting. Or did they win already? I'm not sure. I haven't kept totally up with the WNBA. I know that their viewership's going up, and that they have had a lot of fun, good games going on and stuff like that. Lloyd was watching some WNBA clips last night. In fact, he had this very ambitious plan to stream on Twitch from 9 p.m. last night, from 9 p.m. last night till 9 p.m. tonight. He was going to do a 24-hour stream on Twitch with the new NBA 2K23, and he was thwarted by Twitch at 2 hours in. I was there with him. I was one of like 3 or 4 people there watching and talking to him and stuff like that. And he was talking about the WNBA and how he wants more people to support the WNBA and watch it. And as soon as he said that, his Twitch went crash. And like his whole computer crashed, and it ended his 24-hour streak that he wanted to do, because he was bragging about this on Scotty's Twitch for a couple of weeks now. He's going to do a 24-hour straight Twitch stream. Well, he got 2 hours in, and then he got shut down. And he didn't go the full 24 hours. He did play most of last night also, but he did log back off. He's not on right now, so he's not doing it 24 hours. He's probably sleeping right now. So stuff like that. So Lolita is worried about the expansion drafts. Well, let's think about it this way. If there's 8 guys we can protect, we can protect the really, really good guys on our team. It's just that some of the guys at the end may be exposed. People like Thad Young. I don't want to say Delano, but that could be possibly one of the people and stuff like that. Ken Birch. Otto Porter. I don't know. I don't know who we would protect right now, but we don't have to make that decision this year at least. And who knows what our roster makeup will look like around this time if there is an expansion draft. Usually from expansion drafts, teams only lose one player. On rare occasions, they'll lose two players, one to each team that's coming in. But it's not very likely that it'll have a huge effect on our team. So do not fear the expansion draft, Lolita, is what I'll say. Okay, guys, I guess I've kind of gone over everything I want to say. Big, huge launch last night, NBA 2K23, and they're hitting the ground running and grinding. These players are out there playing these video games like crazy today. Like crazy. If you don't see somebody that you know for a couple days for like the next week, that means they're probably grinding on NBA 2K like Scotty is. We're going to see him on Twitch more. I think he will be on Twitch a lot doing this, but he's going to be really focusing a lot of his free time on this video game. I can already tell. He was saying it last night. He's like, you don't understand. I take this like a full-time job. So it could very well be that he's either practicing, eating, doing the stuff that he needs to do as a Raptor in his regular professional life, and then everything else is going to be sitting at home playing that video game, building up his character. So I expect him to be on Twitch again tonight, just because that's part of the fun is he's playing and everybody gets to watch and interact while he's playing and he's racking up wins and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I hope he's not going to Twitch with Adin Ross too much more, because it could be a real pitfall kind of thing, because there's all kinds of crazy things that could be like sound clipped out of what happened last night. Let's just put it that way. And stuff like that. So, Greg's here. Good to see Greg. Yeah, Greg. Thanks for the shout out back and forth we're doing this week. I really do love your clip this week. It was fantastic, very well put together. I love that you got Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong on there and stuff like that. And I will come for some breakfast if you give me the invite. I'll come. Maybe I can come and be there with Jack too. That'd be so weird, hanging out with Jack and Greg and Abisfoil, having some breakfast with you guys. That'd be awesome. Greg saying, I'm in the kitchen, so I can't type much. I'm watching, though. Thanks for the fun yesterday, Lex. Good predictions. Thanks, Greg. I really was totally inspired by you. I have to give you complete credit that I don't have the inclination to do a lot of predictions too much like that. But I felt like I wanted to really think about the teams and what could be happening with different teams, whether they're going up in the elevator or down and stuff like that. And really good deductive reasoning about where they're at with their roster, maybe a little bit more insightful thinking about it other than just looking at the paper and saying, oh, they suck and stuff like that. Really kind of thinking about what's going to happen. Monique's saying good luck to everyone trying out for the 905 tomorrow. They had such an overwhelming response to the tryouts for the 905. They had to close them because they have all the slots filled. You cannot get a spot at the end right now at the last minute because they are all booked up and they have enough people to look at for this. Yeah, good luck to all the regular average Joes out there that are trying to do something like Mark Wahlberg did with the Philadelphia Eagles in that movie. I forget what that movie was called, where he was just a walk-on as a football player and he made the NFL. Well, who knows? Maybe somebody who's going to the 905 tryouts today can be somebody that has a path into something really special and magical. Wow. Let's just think it could happen. And then boom, all of a sudden something crazy like that happens. It'd be really interesting. Let's see. Greg's also saying, laugh out loud. I told you I need someone to test these granola bar recipes. Hey, listen, I love, let me see. Hang on. Let me get my, oh man, I always eat one of these in the morning. I know it's like, I don't want to put on blast the company, but you know what these bars are. And yeah, this is like my normal morning breakfast. This with an apple and a nice juice. I bet what Greg makes is way better. I bet it is. Wait. Oh, is Buddy here? Let me just see. Oh yeah, here he is. He travels with me now. So, guys, I want to talk to Justin real quick. Justin, what do you think of Adin Ross? Yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to figure out what Justin's voice should be like. Like, I want him to be kind of like Justin Bieber, but a high-pitched voice like, is it too late to be sorry? Is too high for a Beaver. So the Beaver part of him doesn't really jive with the Justin part of him. So Justin part of him would talk like Justin Bieber. Is like a high-pitched, like kid's voice. No, but a Beaver kind of got to have a gruff voice, right? So I'm trying to figure it out. This is character development behind the actor's studio kind of stuff we're doing here. We're figuring him out. Justin Beaver, the newest character on the Raptor Freak channel. So, any suggestions about who Justin Beaver should be and stuff like that? I've already decided he's going to sun me from time to time, just because he's Justin Beaver. I also think that maybe he could have something to do with being very Canadian, since he's a Beaver and this is the Raptors, and he's Justin Beaver and stuff like that. Anyway, any feedback on this? But yeah, Adin Ross. Fuck up. Yeah, there you go. All right. Woo. All right, let's go. All right. All right. All right. Tom Duke saying Scotty Barnes starts a Twitch stream 2 months ago and was top streamer on Twitch yesterday, of course. Wow. Tom, you went and looked at the stats. Scotty is like basically like, I don't know if he's partners with Twitch or what's going on right now. He's probably like this September thing that's going on. The way he did the giveaway earlier this week for the 2K editions, he got an influx of major subscriptions and major income coming in towards him from that and stuff like that. So yeah, Twitch is probably loving Scotty Barnes and the effect he's having on Twitch right now. And I'm not surprised that he was the top streamer on Twitch yesterday. That makes total sense. Yeah. Greg saying, gotta have him perfect for when Jack comes. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Jack Armstrong's so awesome. In fact, I need to do a Share the Love Club for Jack and Matt. I know I'll do them individually and stuff like that, but they're going to get their Share the Love Club at some point. But tomorrow, Saturday, Share the Love Club, Dwayne Casey. I know I want to get this out of the way before the season starts, and I do need to celebrate Casey. That, I know he's the coach of the Pistons and that he has caused a lot of misery and sadness for us over the last couple of years since he left, because he beats us all the time with Casey's revenge. Well, maybe this is part of what I'm trying to do is olive branch, say, hey, Case, we love you, man. And we want to share the love for you because we understand as smart, positive Raptor fans, the impact you had on our franchise on the down low, that you were very much a huge, important part of why our franchise is so capable and winning today, is that you were the one who got our team out of the mud as the coach, and that you were the one taking the lumps and doing the hard stuff in the early build up to that. So we are going to talk about Case tomorrow, and maybe we can exercise some of these demons that we have with the Pistons team where we keep losing, partly by showing love and good faith towards Coach Dwayne Casey. So we're going to go a little in depth about Casey, his role with the Raptors, what he did to us, and how he helped us be better, and the aftermath since, and maybe doing some damage control with him. Because I've learned even more about Dwayne Casey recently and what happened with us and things like that. And I do want to show appreciation for him because, like DeMar, he's somebody that doesn't get total credit for the emergence and the uprising of the Raptors in the NBA as being a force and being a winning team, and that we really do need to give him his respect for it. So let's see. Raymond Jacobs saying, not real beavers actually have a high voice. So look up crying baby beavers. You'll be surprised. Okay, so Raymond Jacobs all about the high pitched voice. I was like, all right, listen. Justin, how old are you? I'm 5. Does that sound all right? That voice is kind of annoying. I could do a really annoying voice. Plus, I'm going to maybe try and study ventriloquism. Like, can I do this? Like, not fair. Wait. Not fair. I can't move my lips. All right. There we go. All right, I'm really going to have to work on this. This is going to be funny, though. Maybe I will become a ventriloquist, add that skill to my life or something like that. Nameless is saying, laugh out loud. Raymond, how do you even know that? Listen, maybe Raymond got that little green box when you were a kid, the wildlife cards. You remember those cards? If you're old enough to remember those cards, please let me know that you got the wildlife treasury cards, and they were on Time Life wildlife treasury cards. There would be a commercial during cartoons. It's like, parents, do you want your kids to know about elephants, giraffes, monkeys? And, you get the different cards. You can look at them. Maybe there was a card and Raymond Jacob looked at the back and said, beavers have high-pitched voices and scream when they're in danger. And like, oh, and then that just stuck as a factoid in Raymond Jacob's head for his whole life. Then he learned it from that little green box with all the wildlife treasury cards in it and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just making this up off the top of my head. Maybe that's how. Evelyn, I love you, Evelyn. I love you so much. I hope you have a good weekend, too. Granny Evelyn, one of the real Raptor freaks. Yeah. Raymond Jacobs saying he loves Discovery Channel. Okay, well, that makes sense. I'm the kind of person that should know this kind of stuff, too, and stuff like that. Maybe a beaver gets his voice up real high when it's in duress. It's like, I don't know. They just seem like such a gruff animal and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Nameless is saying, our Beaver aficionado. That's how, you know what? Listen, if you said that in the stream with Adin Ross last night, that could spurn quite the interesting kind of conversation. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you had said that phrase, our Beaver aficionado, yeah, that might go into a whole kind of different kind of Beaver direction. Let's just put it that way. We'll just leave it to Beaver at this point, right? All right. Is that what we'll do, Justin Beaver? Yeah, we're going to do that. All right. Let's do it. Yeah. Hey, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and share the Raptor Freak channel. And, as always, let's go Raptors. All right, get out of here. That's my line. I'll say that in a second. Greg, who's Adin Ross? You don't want to know, Greg. Let's just put it that way. Tom Duke and I have seen things, and they ain't especially pretty. We'll just put it that way. We were up late last night, being Raptor freaks by, hanging out with Big Four and watching them play the 2K23 from midnight till 5 a.m. this morning with Adin Ross, famous Twitch streamer who has a very potty mouth. Very, very potty mouth. And he asked some very out-of-pocket questions to Scotty. And some of it was good because we did actually get some answers for stuff that we wanted to hear about. But some of it was just not called for. Let's just put it that way. And if you want to see it, Greg, go to Scotty's Twitch and, put it on ×2 because it is 6 hours stream from last night. Monique, you're going to have a full day of watching Scotty today. And you may need to make sure there's no children around you when you're watching it because there's going to be some bad words on that Twitch stream from today. And it is about 6 hours. He got on just before midnight and he didn't finish up until around 6 a.m. this morning. Scotty Barnes playing that 2K grind right away. Yeah. So Greg, find out who Adin Ross at your own risk and maybe just tread a little shallow when you go and find out who he is and stuff like that. Yeah. Raymond Jacobs saying he also wanted to be a vet. Have a great Friday, y'all. Raymond Jacob, from meeting you at the meet and greet and stuff like that and talking to you, I think you'd be a damn fine vet. I'm going to say that right now. You're already taking care of plants. As a marijuana farmer, you could probably take care of animals just as well. Yeah. Greg saying, cheers, Raymond. Tom Duke is saying, I was going to have a busy day. Now I'll go back to bed. Yeah, this is going to kind of make my day a little bit different now because I do need to go back to sleep now. I think I just got up to do the stream and I'm going to go right back to bed after this because I am exhausted. Yeah, we're not as young as these youngsters on 2K playing Twitch all the time, Tom Duke and I. So we do need to get some energy put back into our older bodies. That is for sure. Yes, sir. Bro, I'm dying. Nameless is loving this off the cuff. This is what happens when I get in this Twilight Zone area. Maybe this is me hanging out with Adin Ross too much. This is the effect of this madness and stuff like that. But I am half awake right now. So that's part of it. Yeah. Yeah, there's the caution. Yeah, go at your own risk, Greg. Seriously, go at your own risk. When you're dealing with Adin Ross, who's not far off from Andrew Tate. Let's just put it that way. Tom Duke saying, came home from being away and my SB4 jersey arrived, so I had to stick it out last night. Hey, Tom got his Scotty Barnes jersey also. Awesome. Yeah, I love to hear that. And I'm glad you got back safe from vacation, Tom, and I hope you had a great time. Nameless is saying, watching you try to be a ventriloquist on cam is the growth. All right, listen, I'm not afraid of embarrassing myself, Nameless. But yeah, maybe I can do some more lessons on trying to learn how to be a trained ventriloquist. I'm really seriously interested in trying to do this. Like, this could be a real life-changing skill that I get. All of a sudden, you see me on Vegas because all of a sudden I'm just messing around on this channel with Justin Bieber. And then all of a sudden I'm on the Vegas Strip opening for Jeff Durham or something. Or who's that guy who did all the puppetry before? And I'm like, this is my apprentice, the Raptors freak. Yeah, he's a ventriloquism apprentice. I think this is a very fruitful life path for me to go down economically. Yeah, I should become a ventriloquist. This is never too late. I'm 47. Let's do this. Yeah. Monique's saying, how come he does so much hours? Monique, it's because it's the grind. I'm serious. This is what Scotty will say. You'll see on it is that this is time for him to grind, to put in the work. This is the thing. This man's so crazy. He's going to put in the real work in the real life for the real life NBA. But he has to put in the real work in the virtual world, in the virtual NBA stuff too. That he said this last night. He's saying, when I was a kid, I put in so much work on these video games to build my character up that he really looked at it like a full-time job. Now, I worry that this may distract him from different things that he should be doing right now, going in the season and stuff like that. We need him to get rest and not stay up all night every night playing NBA 2K and stuff like that. But he'll find the right balance of things and stuff like that. And hopefully that's, we'll figure it all out and stuff like that. But he is on for 6 hours. I'm not gonna lie. That stream is the longest one he's done since he got on Twitch this summer, is the one last night. And it really is because he's trying to build his character up as quickly as possible, since the game just launched last night at midnight. So he got on right before midnight. He got the game a half hour early, started around 11:30 last night, and then he streamed till 5:30 this morning. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Nameless is loving it. Listen, you guys get some entertainment, some comedy from all this silly crap that I say and do dumb stuff I do. That is exactly what I want. Seriously. Tom Duke saying Scotty said he napped from 2 p.m. until he went on streaming, so he does get his sleep. Yeah, he had to nap yesterday, but he was also at OVO in the evening before he went on too. So we do know he is putting in work and doing stuff like that, and it's important for him to do that too. He can't go so. It may be that he's just going a little overboard for right now, and he can afford to, because this is a dead period of the year for him. But when the season starts, he has to get a lot of work in on this now, because when the season starts, he's definitely not going to be able to play that game as much as he's doing right now, for sure. Stuff like that. Nameless is saying, hey, that's a good idea to show Scotty you're all good. Maybe post his Twitch links on your streams if that's possible. Free publicity for him. He doesn't need my help. Trust me. He really doesn't need my help. And once again, the problem that happened this week is he thinks I'm capitalizing off of him and his persona and his stuff from Twitch to make money for my channel. And I don't want to have him perceive that. I told Lloyd last night, I made it very clear that this is a passion project that I'm doing right here. This is not to make money. This is not a for-profit channel. This is a channel because I really, really love the Raptors. And as a Raptor fan, I saw something that I wanted on YouTube. And I said, well, nobody else is doing it. I'm going to do it. And that is why we're doing this right here. It's not to get more money or do anything in my own life. This is really for a passion that I really, really share with you guys. And it's a community for that. And I made Lloyd know this very specifically last night so that he can tell Scotty if that comes up with him. That if you say, hey, well, Raptors Freak, you got him wrong as far as like he's trying to make money off of your likeness or your clips, that he really is very much just a really diehard fan that loves the Raptors and likes talking about them and stuff like that. But yeah, he doesn't need my help. Trust me. I mean, holy crap. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning and he's got 800 people watching him in the middle of the night. It's insane. It was crazy. It's so crazy. But I appreciate the idea too. And who knows, there may be some more interaction between Scotty and I, and things may progress into weird ways that we couldn't even have imagined. But I'm not holding my breath for it either. And I'm not one of these kind of guys that's like, oh, I want to be in his entourage no matter what, stuff like that. But if I become more personable and more friendly with him, I just may become a friend of his virtually, just like Lloyd is. Because Lloyd is somebody who's allowed in his inner circle in some ways, but not in person. Like I said, Lloyd's never met Scotty in real life, but they are good friends because they played video games together for years now. And we're talking about like 3 or 4 years. I think he said he started playing video games with Scotty around the bubble or something like that. It hasn't been totally that long either. So it's not like they've been childhood friends since they were little kids and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I'm really happy to see Greg here. Guys, go check out Greg's channel too. It's always so good. The Gubstown Clink and stuff like that. And check out Monique's stuff too. Superfan Monique. She's always got interesting stuff on Facebook that she's posting and also different things going on with her. Always good to check out Superfan Monique Lawrence and everybody else here doing different things and stuff like that. Whatever you have, I'll put it on blast on my channel. I have no problem with doing that for any of the Raptor Freaks in the Raptor Freak cult. So let's see. Monique saying, I gained more followers off your stream from Shane. Awesome. And from Tom and Shane. That's awesome, Monique. Yeah, that's the thing. We can all find each other in different pockets and places. I am seeing Tom Duke on comments on your posts now, and I love seeing that we're all bonding and joining together in different ways and interacting in other places other than just on this YouTube channel. We're meeting up in places like Instagram and Facebook and different places like that also. So yeah, this is what we do. We share an audience. We share a lot of the same people. So why not put each other on blast and stuff like that? Yeah. Amen to you, Greg. Let's get a bus to the 905. Yeah. Yeah. Greg wants to go to 905 game with us and stuff like that. I'm very interested in that. I've never been to a 905 game. I'm not going to lie. I have not been to that environment yet. So let's go Raptor Freak cult team. Tom Duke. All right. I'm going to log off now. My girlfriend's back from Aquafit. It's time for me to hang out. Nameless, I appreciate that. Well, listen, Scotty's got to be guarded in this world. There's going to be a lot of people coming at him in all kinds of different ways and weird ways and stuff like that. And, not all of them will have the best intentions for him, stuff like that. So he does have to really suss people out and make sure he can trust them. And then maybe part of the things that happened this week were a test. That can we trust the Raptor Freak not to get emotional and upset about him coming at me like that and turning around and coming at him also. And I did not do that. I love you, Scotty. And I just really appreciate and love that you're so open with yourself on Twitch and that we can really get to know you, man, because you're a cool dude. You have an edge to you. You care a lot about winning. You're a competitive dude, and I respect that. But I also know that can make you very hard to deal with in some ways because you have a certain demand for how you want things done. It was very evident in that basket that y'all helped Matthijs Thybulle make in the series when Precious and you went up for that rebound and Precious kind of knocked it in and you turned to Precious and got mad at him in that instant. That very much makes me think of some of the moments that we've had on Twitch over the last few months this summer with Lloyd and different people that you play basketball with and stuff. I understand why you got so mad at Precious in that moment now, just from watching your Twitch now, that you are the ultimate competitor. You want perfection. You want good things to happen on the court. And when things like that happen, you get upset. And that's just a natural reaction from you in your winning competitive mentality and stuff like that. I love 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 that. Yes. All right. Yeah. Sweet dreams. Thanks, Greg. Yeah. Good night, y'all. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Isaac Campbell saying, been busy, but have an amazing Friday. So pumped for Banton. Thumbs up. All right. Yeah. I'm going to log out now. And thank you once again, guys, for joining me tomorrow. Share the Love Club, Dwayne Casey. That's right. Let's get some goodwill towards him. Hopefully we can get some W's over Detroit this year and maybe help Casey's revenge go a little bit lessened, watered down as time goes on. Casey, you're a great dude. We love you in Toronto. You were our coach for like 8-9 years. So, oh my gosh, we really do have a big part of our history that has to do with you. And I want to make sure that we acknowledge it as a Raptor Freak channel and that we give him his love. The Share Love Club tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Dwayne Casey. So please join me then. And then, like I said, Sunday Report's going to be all about that Tim Donaghy Netflix special. So if you guys want to be on the same page with us, some of us that have already watched it, check that out on Netflix this weekend. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, just one shot, like a movie length long, and very informative and interesting. So you can be informed to join the conversation on Sunday when we talk about Untold Flagrant Foul, the Tim Donaghy story that's on Netflix. Yeah. They're now saying, whoa, you're still on. I had an appointment with WSIB and you said it would be short because you're tired. This is the craziness that I am. I mean, listen, I'm on fumes, but yeah, listen, I'm crazy. I don't know. I guess I'm an Iron Man. Man, yeah. Listen, don't worry about it, Danal. You can come back and watch me. Put me on 1.5 or 2.0 speed and get some time travel in. Feel like you really accomplished something because you can see that, oh, it's a 90-minute stream by the Raptor Streak. Well, I'm going to watch it in like 45 minutes. Bam. And I've already won on my day because I've taken care of something faster than time. I love that kind of feeling. I watch stuff on YouTube real fast all the time. Maybe this is why I talk so fast because everything I watch is so fast at this point. And then I can watch so much in one day. You feel so productive. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. I'm going to go. Please like, comment, subscribe, as Justin Beaver said earlier. And thank you. And, thanks, Lloyd, for talking to me about what happened. He told me that he thinks Scotty doesn't give a shit about me using his Twitch and that he's totally cool with it, and he was half joking, and I didn't read it right. Doesn't hurt to press that like button. Thanks, Tom Duke. All right, guys, as Raptor fans and Team Canada fans, let's go, Team Canada. Let's get this win this weekend on Sunday. I don't care who we're playing. We got to beat Brazil tomorrow and then get in the finals against either Venezuela or the United States and be the America's Cup 2022 champions. And that will really give us a good chance to make the Olympics for sure. All right, y'all. Let's go, Team Canada and Raptors!